Hello friends, this is Brian from Elhardt Real Estate, and I'm going to talk about 4 steps for regret-free home buying. Is there a system to buying a home that makes sure or gives you the highest likelihood you're going to be happy for a long time? Yes, there is. And this system comes not only from helping clients, but also my own personal experience looking back as my wife and I bought the home I'm sitting in right now. And we've loved it for almost 10 years. So regret comes in 2 forms, so we need to understand that. The first regret is buying something you don't really like, and that usually comes from being rushed, talking yourself into something, making a quick decision, and then you come up for air later and you realize, you know what, I don't really like this house as much as I thought I did. So regret number 1, you're in a house you don't like, and it comes from being in a rush. Regret number 2 is not grabbing an opportunity you do like. And now you missed out on a home and you're always thinking about it. Gosh, that was so nice. I'm so sorry we missed it. And that regret comes from moving too slow. So wait a minute, we have a paradox. One regret is from moving too fast, the other is from moving too slow. How do we avoid both of them? Thus, the system, thus the 4 steps. So here they are. Now, I'm assuming you've done what I'm going to call pre-game, which is deciding you're interested in buying a home. You're probably looking online, you're looking at phone apps, and you're checking stuff out, and you're starting to poke around. That's pre-game. I'm talking about when you finally decide, okay, I want to end up in a house. I want to start a process that leads to purchasing a house. And it might take weeks, it might take months, it might take the rest of the year, but I want to start the process. So that's what these 4 steps are for. Step 1 is you have to get out there and start developing what you really want. Because you might be surprised. You're looking online and you're like, oh, this is a nice area. Oh, this is a nice house. Boy, I really want a backyard. Boy this, boy that, and then you get out there for real. Believe me, your tastes are going to tweak. Not necessarily change, but they're going to tweak. My wife and I ended up in a wonderful neighborhood pocket we didn't even know existed until we actually got off our laptops, off our phones, and into the real world and started looking at actual houses. So step 1 is go look at actual houses. And that step is when you call me, because I can get you into homes that aren't just simply open for the public. Number 2 is in these searching, visiting actual new homes, start coming up with a must-have list versus a it would be nice to have list. Okay, here's what I mean by that. You might say to yourself, well, gosh, I'm a married couple, we have 2 kids, we must have 3 bedrooms. But, you know, it would be nice to have a 4th bedroom. Okay, but it doesn't make it onto your must-have list. You're honest with yourself and don't talk, and here's where we avoid the regret. Don't talk yourself into something that you don't really want. Now, that's within reason. We got to make sure that that kind of house even exists. Okay, so you want a pool on the roof. If that's a must-have, we'll have to have a separate conversation. But you know what I mean. So put that list together, not first, but after you've actually gone out and seen real homes. Because I guarantee you, you're going to tweak just a little bit of what it is you're looking for. You might think you want a huge backyard, and then you see a smaller backyard that's laid out so perfect. You're like, gosh, this is all I really need. It'd be less to take care of. You don't know. Just know, get out there and develop that list. So that's step 1 and 2. Now, you want to do steps 1 and 2 until you have that list and you are convinced that the type, not the specific one, but the type of home you are looking for actually exists, okay? Because generally speaking, the first house you really fall in love with is not going to be the one you end up with. So I don't want you to find the perfect house. I want you to narrow down the type of house, okay? it's one in the middle of the street, it's one with this, it's one with that, it's 2-story, it's not 2-story. All those things we put on the must-have list, okay? And at that point, we need to go on to step 3, which is to prepare financially. Now, a lot of realtors would start on this step by telling you to go get pre-qualified or, figure out your finances before you even go look at houses. And yeah, that saves them some time, I guess, but here's the thing. As a human being, I know I'm motivated to do things when I see something I want that I can get if I do those things. So no, I'm not going to make you do this step first. Now is the proper time to do this step because you've seen that what you want is out there. And now let's see about getting you into one. And here's the number one thing to prepare financially. Let me refer you to one of my awesome mortgage brokers who are only my referrals because they are amazing people. They have a heart of a teacher and they can really take you through what you can afford. And if you can't afford anything right now, they can tell you what to do so that next year you can afford it. I mean, they're so relationship-based. I'm relationship-based. They're there to guide us and inform us, okay? So you don't need to worry like at some used car lot, hey, sit down with my finance guy. No, that's not what's happening here. Okay, we're going through a process. We just need a diagnosis from a specialist to see how close to getting what you really want you actually are. They will let you prepare with your budget. They'll tell you exactly what it's going to cost to own your house before you have to buy it. How cool is that? So you can start living with that extra or sometimes similar or sometimes even lower cost depending on where you're renting in mind so you can financially prepare, which is both on paper and emotionally. It's like, hey, once we buy this house, it's going to cost X amount more, X amount less. You can start preparing that way, okay? And of course, you're going to get what's called a pre-approval letter at the end of your financial preparation. So that is basically your golden ticket to say, look, I can go shopping. Here's my voucher. I can afford X amount of house. Great. Now it's time to go to step 4. So step 4 is move fast and grab your deal. Okay, we've already gotten out there. You know what you really want and what you must have. You know what you can comfortably afford. So now it's time to grab it. Homes are going to go to people that have done the first 3 steps. And let me tell you a quick story to prove that this is true from my own life. My wife and I, years ago, before I was even a realtor, we were looking for our first home. And we went through the first 3 steps. We knew what we wanted. We found a pocket we didn't even know existed. We got down to our must-haves and we knew what we could comfortably afford. And then suddenly a house popped on the market that was exactly the criteria we had put together. So we ran over to take a look and guess what? Our realtor's key didn't work. So what I did was put my face against every window. It wasn't occupied with any tenants or residents at the time. So I put my face up against every window and I couldn't see the bathroom. And so I asked my wife, who was back in the car, because I actually had to hop the fence. So I went back to the car and I said, honey, I don't know if there is a bathroom, but everything else is exactly what we've already decided we want. The yard is what we want. The driveway is what we want. The area is what we want. It's perfect. Do we want to put in an offer without having seen it? Well, the answer is yes. We put in an offer. It was competitive. We were the highest bidder by just a little. And that was almost 10 years ago. So even without walking in a house, because of going through these steps, we were able to buy a house we didn't even walk in, and we're still thrilled that we have that house today. So these steps work. This is powerful stuff. So let's keep moving. Now, I will always negotiate the best possible deal I can for you. A lot of homes are badly presented, and they represent an opportunity for getting a great price. But next year, and the year after, and the year after that, as you come home to this house, day after day, you're not going to remember the little bit of a good deal you might have gotten. You're going to remember if you got the house you really wanted. So those are the 4 steps. And regardless of whether you feel you're ready to go right now or maybe in the future, let's talk. Let's see where you are in this process, what your goals and dreams are, and let's get you plugged into the right part of my team so that you know what's next, even if you're not ready today. And if you are ready today, let's get out there. It's a great time. Interest rates are as low as we can hope for. That's its own video, but I really hope this helped, and to talk to you soon. God bless.